All right, if you all could not talk behind the court reporter, please. Just move it towards the end. Court is calling 2018 CR 10107, State of Texas versus Priscilla Amaya. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Lorraine Eastern for Miss Amaya.
And are you Miss Amaya?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Are you the same Priscilla Amaya who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 10107 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on June 28, 2019 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Priscilla Amaya did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November, December 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Sure.
We'll waive the remaining violated conditions, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, for adjudicate guilt, revoke the provision, and sentence the individual to 11 months in the state jail facility.
No objection, Judge. That's our agreement.
All right, Ms. Amaya, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what went wrong with you?
To be honest with you, Your Honor, well, I relapsed and I didn't want to report. I thought working was good enough, but I didn't have my family intact, my kids all together. They were disappointed in me, so they stopped talking to me. But
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
now I have my kids back in my life and I have my first grandbaby, so I see things different. I know I do need help. And I'm willing to take that help as an outpatient when I get out of Bexar County Jail.
Here's the thing. If you want to remain on deferred adjudication, I will let you remain on deferred adjudication. But you're going into inpatient treatment or either you're going to felony drug court. Now, you say, oh, I want to do my time, I will get out and I will take care of things and I will be clean and sober. 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. You know why? Because you are looking at 2 years in the state jail facility and you couldn't do it. And you are a person who should not be around your grandchildren or your children because you don't have control of your addictions. You're using opiates. You need help. So if you want, here are your 2 choices. State and defense, they came up with their agreement. Here's your choice. 1, you can be referred to felony drug court. If felony drug court accepts you, great. If they don't, you go into inpatient treatment. Or you can go to the state jail facility for 18 months. Either way, your life, the time is going to pass. Either it's going to pass with you bettering yourself by taking care of your drug addictions, or either it's going to pass with you marking days off the calendar, just doing your time at the state jail facility. So which do you prefer? 18 months at the state jail facility, or perhaps getting treatment for your drug addiction, being the type of grandmother that your grandchildren can be proud of and that your children can be proud of? It's completely up to you.
Yes. May we have a minute, Your Honor?
Yes. Yes. I will. I'll extend her because she was placed on 3 years. So I'll extend her. Yes. So I'll extend her. And she chooses us. Jason, these are difficult choices that people have to make. Prison or treatment?
I totally agree.
All right, while she's thinking about that, are we ready on Mr. Miles?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2022 CR 2755, State of Texas versus Lutrell Miles. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? Defense?
Natasha Thurston, on behalf of Mr. Miles, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Miles?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Miles, did you have sufficient time to speak to your attorney?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Miles, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Miles, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Miles, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 4 years in the prison. The state is silent on your application. They're taking in consideration NIMAG number 712181. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Judge, yes, but just with one addition, and speaking with defense counsel, one term that wasn't added. Because my understanding is that they're still going to ask for a bond to be set while sentencing is pending. Is that if the defendant does not appear for sentencing at the designated date, that he is open to the full range of punishment.
All right. Did you understand that?
Yes, I did.
Does anyone want to write that in?
I will,
I
Judge.
think
Sure.
in writing.
Thank you. So you understand if you do not appear at your sentencing, then you'll be subject to the full range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that the full range of punishment is up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the paragraph with your attorney entitled waiver of appeal paragraph, and did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
Motion's filed, none ruled on, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Okay.
State any evidence?
State all proceeds to the one and all attachments.
Without objection, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony?
10 minutes in, and the courtroom is split between punishment and redemption. Priscilla Amaya faces a choice: 18 months behind bars or a shot at recovery through treatment court. The judge makes it clear: time will pass either way, but only one path offers change. Her voice trembles as she weighs freedom against relapse, motherhood against addiction. Question: if you were in her place, would you take the guaranteed jail time or risk treatment for a chance at real recovery?
No live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No problem. Thank you. And what is the case that's being taken into consideration?
It's another drug offense, Your Honor.
All right. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. On this case, state, will you be able to present to the court a different date for his criminal history and NCIC and TCIC?
What do you mean, Judge?
Oh, his history.
Oh, just to run it again?
Yes.
Yes, Judge, we can.
All right. Then what we'll do, because I want to know that will help me make a determination on whether or not to grant his application or not, because otherwise, if we don't do it that way, his reset date is going to be far off. So when do you all think you'll have that?
It shouldn't take that long. It'd be done in minutes, really.
Oh, in minutes?
As long as we tell our investigator and he has the time to do it.
Well, all right. So if we come back the week of July 5th, would you all be able to have it, or do you need more time?
We would do that, Judge.
Your Honor, I apologize. I'm scheduled as #1 for a jury trial in Maverick County. I'm the only trial.
Okay. And which date is that for you?
It's gonna be July 5th. I'm not sure if July 7th is, it shouldn't be more than 2 days.
But you all are in. How about if we put it on maybe July, Norma, can we do July 10th that week? All right. Is everybody okay with the week of July 10th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge.
All right. What date? All right. So we're going to come back on July 10th.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'll base my decision off any evidence that's presented to me. So if there are some witnesses you want, let your attorney know, and I'll listen to those as well.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
So
you.
your choice is, do you all want the PSI? Because if you want the PSI, it's going to be far off, or either I can make my decision based upon the criminal history. It will be the criminal history and witnesses. And honestly, the pre-sentence investigation report, they interview you, which if your attorney wants to call you as a witness, I can hear, and they tell me what your criminal history is. That's basically what it does. And then they give me a recitation of the narrative from the police report, which you all have already stipulated to. So as far as your upbringing, where you went to school, who your family is, how you feel about this case, that's something, if your attorney wants me to know about, you can tell me on July 10th.
We'd probably waive PSI, Your Honor.
All right, so you want to waive the PSI?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right, so if you can give a reset form, we'll see you back on July 10th. And at that time, I'll make my decision, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Yes, do you still want to make the bond, or you just want to wait till July 10th?
Would like to have the bond considered.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, are you all ready on Priscilla Amaya?
Yes. I believe so.
And then after this, Priscilla Amaya.
Your Honor, I
Yes.
was able to report on this one to
Mhm.
see if she would be reconsidered. She was in the program for 3 days.
Mhm.
So we're just trying to get that information together, and they said that they could probably confidently say that she would not be reconsidered.
Oh, I had,
So
and
we
I
were
did. They
just
were-
in the middle.
Oh, if you want to have time to do that? Okay.
Ready whenever.
Deborah Burke, who do you have? Hello,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon. Yes, who do you have?
Adam Sancho.
Sancho?
Could I see the file on Adam Sancho?
Adam.
So on Adam Sancho, I know he has a new case, Ms. Burke. But what is the new case and where are we on the discovery for her getting that?
So he has several new cases, Judge. At least one of the cases that's awaiting indictment is a drug case. I don't think we have labs back on that.
Okay,
The other cases should have been indicted already. I think one of
It's a
them,
theft of a vehicle.
theft of a vehicle, unauthorized use, and then a evading.
all right. So I'll give you all a reset date in 1 month. Is that enough time for everybody or do you need longer than that?
I think that should be enough,
That's fine.
Judge.
Okay.
All right,
The reason why there was some hesitancy there, Judge, is I
the
think
lab.
there may have been a resolution that we may have come to possibly.
Well, what I'll do is I'll give you all a 1 month reset. And if
we-
you want to come sooner,
Mhm,
you can come in sooner.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson, on Adam Sancho, can I have a 1 month reset? All right, so July 27th. And Norma, if you'll give him a reset form,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you for coming back.
Okay, I'm sitting.
These are done. Are we ready on Amaya or you're still discussing?
We're ready, Your Honor.
All right. So we're back on the record. In 2018 CR 10107, State of Texas versus Priscilla Amaya. So, Ms. Amaya, have you had a chance to discuss things with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
So which do you prefer?
Your Honor, we're going to take the state jail time that we are requesting that the court, if the court has the ability to refer or recommend her to a therapeutic community there for drug treatment, we are requesting that.
All right, then the
I-
court.
I think that will allow her to get some credit for her time at state jail.
All right, is she waiving her right to appeal then or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will find you guilty. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, and the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Therapeutic community will not increase the amount of time that you're in custody, but I do not have the authority to have them place you in there. The only thing I can do is request and recommend it, but you're also going to have to ask for it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement.
Well, not
Well,
actually.
She's waived her right to appeal.
Okay, that's right.
Yes.
You're right.
Thank you. And you've waived your right to appeal.
20 minutes later, a new case resets the mood. Mr. Miles steps up, charged with drug possession, and offered a plea capped at 4 years. The judge drills down, writes waived, consequences understood, and warns that skipping sentencing opens him to 10. It's all calm, all procedure, but beneath it is pressure. Trust the system or roll the dice. Question: do you think plea deals like this serve justice or simply move the docket faster?
Right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
I'm 40.
All right, you're 40. You still have a lot of your life in front of you, and you need to make a decision. And I know staying clean and sober is hard. And this is from somebody who's never done drugs, but I understand it's hard based upon my experience in different treatment courts and based upon the fact that I'm having a struggle giving up ice cream. And ice cream is not even as addicting as the drugs that you're taking. But if you don't stop, one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to continue going in and out of the prison, or either you may end up with a bad batch and you may end up overdosing. And I don't think you want your children or your grandchildren to read about you in the news where it's bodies found on whatever street it is. And then they finally identify it and it's you. You understand? But you're going to have to work for it. And when you get out, there are plenty of places that have free treatment for you. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you already on Wardell Lemon?
Yes, we are.
I'm going to give you a chance to switch over. Do you need to switch over anything to start?
No.
Okay, all right. All right. I'm sorry? Yes, we're going to bring the jurors in. Yes. Sorry. I forgot about that. They say they have witnesses.
That happens, I'll give rescues in. We have like about 10 rescues in a row.
Bye. And Norma, I'll talk to you about the other cases that are still on the docket. Okay. All right, thanks.
If you just the mics.
No problem.
Excuse me.
Thanks, Judge.
Oh, thank you. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna enjoy it. Cool. So we will not have court that week, so you all can enjoy time with your family too. And then I don't think it makes any sense for, well, of course it makes sense because that's what the calendar says, that July 4th is on a Tuesday, but it makes no sense for everybody to come in on a Monday and then you're off on the Tuesday, then come back on a Wednesday. So our next date will be July 5th. I know it's his birthday. Mom knows it's his birthday. Mom is. Oh, you beat me to the punch. Okay. Happy birthday, Mom. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
The day you gave me, I'm sent to Churchill County that day. I'm 3 other days that week.
All right. Norma, if you could change that date for me, please.
Up to long?
They in the hallway? All right, court is calling 2020 CR 7353, State of Texas versus Wardell Lemon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ruben Herrera and Travis Banks for the state.
Defense?
Leo Gonzalez and Mario Moreno for Wardell Lemon.
All right, are both parties ready to proceed with punishment?
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring them.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry it took a little bit longer than anticipated, but as you could tell, the courtroom was crowded with my docket, and I wanted to make sure that the staff did have a chance to regroup and have their lunch and relax. So this is the punishment phase of this trial. State?
Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. As the judge explained to you, we are now in the punishment phase of the trial. This is where you are all given the important duty of deciding how to see that justice is served. You've already returned a verdict of guilty. The state has shown you beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was guilty of the charge of indecency with a child by contact. Now, at this stage, you'll be able to get a little bit more information. You'll hear testimony again from the complaining witness, Madison Keeney, about how the acts committed by the defendant have changed her life, have affected her relationships, and how this is still continuing to damage parts of her life. You'll hear from that. You'll also hear about the defendant's prior criminal history. And you'll get to take that again into the back in the jury room with you to deliberate what punishment is deserved in this case. And once you hear from all the testimony in this phase of the trial, we'll ask you to return a sentence of 20 years. Thank you.
All right, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The defense understands your verdict and respects it. What you're going to hear from punishment from us is you're going to hear from some family members and friends that you didn't hear from in the guilt and innocent phase regarding the person that Wardell is. You're going to hear about the circumstances regarding the injury to a child case. What you're going to hear is that it was an accident where a window was broken and one of his children happened to be near that window and suffered an injury. You're going to hear that since that time, that happened 20 years ago, he has supported his son and been a part of his life and helped him become what he says, become an outstanding citizen in the community. We're going to ask that you consider the lower range of the punishment range. We're going to ask that you consider sentencing Wardell to 2 years in the Institution Division of Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
State?
To enter State's Exhibit P1
No objection, Your Honor.
All right.
and statements to publish.
All right, State's Exhibit P1 is admitted without objection.
And Your Honor, the statements to publish.
Granted.
You know, at this time, the state calls Miss Madison Keeney.
All right. All right, if you have a seat, you're still under oath. Be sure to remember to keep your voice up so that the ladies and gentlemen can hear, and also so that the court reporter can hear. State?
Good afternoon, Madison. I wanted to start out by asking you a few questions. Now, you're aware that Wardell has been found guilty of the charge, right?
Yes.
And
30 minutes in, the courtroom resets again. Different faces, same stakes. The judge reminds counsel about balance, efficiency versus fairness, as the next trial gears up. The room relaxes briefly, even sharing a laugh over birthdays and calendars, but tension lingers in the air. It's the calm before another storm. Question: in moments like this, do judges humanize the process, or does casual conversation risk undermining its gravity?
although the events have ended, are you still affected by what Wardell did to you?
Yes, the trauma that he's caused, it's never gonna go away. It's always gonna be there and it's always going to affect me.
Specifically, how has this affected your relationship with your mother?
My mom simply didn't choose me. She chose her boyfriend over her own daughter, who she birthed out of her. Didn't choose to believe me, and it hurts that somebody who's supposed to raise you, somebody who's supposed to love you and teach you how to love other people wasn't there. And it still affects me to this day. I mean, that's why I didn't want to say anything for the longest time, because I didn't want to lose the relationship I had with her. But after seeing what side she chose, it made me realize she doesn't care about me. That's just simply the truth.
Has she attempted to contact you at all since you spoke out about these actions?
She has never tried to say happy birthday or I miss you or I love you. And the only thing she's ever tried, I guess you could say, by reaching out is sending a message of me with her saying I love you. And after that, she's never said anything. And that was maybe 2-3 years ago. And she's unblocked on iMessage. She could message me at any time.
How has this affected other relationships you have with your dad and Linda?
It put trust issues towards men in my life in general. I don't trust them because of what happened, but that's just the trauma that he caused on me. And I don't trust men. I just simply don't.
Has this affected the way that you see men or even boys your age in general?
Yes.
How has it done that?
I don't desire that type of relationship or affection from a man because of what happened, because it scares me. And I don't know what a boy capable of my age will do to me because I have that fear of what he did to me.
Do the thoughts about what Wardell did to you still come up?
And as much as I try not to think about it or push it further back to where I don't remember things, it will always come up and it will always be there.
Now, before all of this happened, how did you see, or what was your relationship like with Wardell before he did this to you?
I'm not going to sit here and say for when I was little, I didn't see him as a father figure. I did, but that's because he made sure I did see him as that. He made sure I had trust with him so that I allowed him to do what he did. And he made sure we had common interests in what we did so that he could do what he did. He knew what he was doing and he did it in a smart way.
And how does it make you feel now at this stage in your life, knowing that that trust was taken advantage of?
It hurts because as a child who's somebody who you looked up to and trusted, it hurts.
And do you have any plans to attend any type of therapy or counseling?
Yes,
And when are you going to be doing that?
as soon as this is over, we already have an appointment.
State passes the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Madison. Real quick, you mentioned a little bit ago about the fact that your mom is unblocked on Instagram or some social media.
I said she's unblocked on iMessage, yes.
Why did you mention that?
Because she claims that she tried to reach out to me multiple times and that she's blocked on everything. She's only blocked on Instagram.
So let me ask you this, where did you hear that?
She said it
When?
when she was testifying.
Were you in here when she was testifying?
No,
So then who did you hear from?
we watched
You watched what?
the, and didn't she say, Shauna say on her testify that she was watching it too?
Did you watch Shauna's testimony?
No, I just watched my mother's.
So you watched your mother's testimony?
When it was done, yeah,
On what?
on YouTube.
I'm sorry?
On YouTube.
Your Honor, can we approach?
Yes, just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have you step outside of the courtroom. And so I will call you back in.
As to how much she watched and her own discrepancies of who she watched, when she watched, and how she watched, bring into question how that's affected their own testimony.
All right, and so, yes,
Oh, Your Honor, the state was going to say, first off, that she just said on the stand that she watched it after it was done, which after the trial was over, the rule is no longer in effect. Defense has their punishment witnesses in the courtroom right now. If the rule was still in effect, then they can't call any of their punishment witnesses. And yesterday, the defense called 2 witnesses who
no,
both.
no,
told
let's
the court-
just, we're just addressing the issue. Have a seat, please. We're just addressing what has been brought to the court's attention, which is the defense is saying that this witness watched another witness's testimony after she testified, after this witness, the complainant testified, that her testimony now, she watched another witness. Is that correct?
That appears to be the instance, Your Honor.
All right, so I want the record to be clear. So my understanding is that the witness who's currently on the witness stand watched her mother's testimony after Madison had already testified. Is that correct?
That would be the order, Your Honor, because she testified first and Madison at that point, I'm sorry, Miss Healy would have then testified after her in order. So she would have watched it after her testimony.
So the defense is asking for a mistrial based upon the fact that this witness saw her mother's testimony after this witness had already testified. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So the defense is not arguing that this witness violated the rule that was invoked before her testimony. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right. State. Any other argument?
I would just echo the concerns of the court that this witness had already given their testimony at the time when the any possible testimony have been watched from another witness. And the witness clearly said that the viewing of the testimony.
At 40 minutes, the tone shifts hard. A victim takes the stand, Madison. Her testimony is raw and steady, describing betrayal by the man she once called Dad. Then shock. She reveals watching testimony on YouTube. The defense seizes it, calls for a mistrial. The judge denies it, but warns the jury to disregard parts of her words. Question: should watching prior testimony online ever void a witness's credibility, or was the judge right to move
The viewing of the
forward?
testimony came after the guilt innocence phase of trial.
All right, defense. The motion for the mistrial is going to be denied. But with regards to her testimony, is it sufficient for the defense that the jury be given an instruction that they are to disregard any testimony from this witness related to her mother's attempt to contact her?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
We can bring them in. All right, everyone, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the rule has been invoked in this courtroom. I know you all have heard me tell jurors each time that, tell witnesses each time that they step from the witness stand, that the rule has been invoked. What that means is you can only discuss your testimony or have discussions with attorneys for the state or the defense. In this case, it appears that this witness viewed testimony that was not allowed for her to view. So with that being said, this is what I'm going to tell you, you are to disregard. Any statements made by this witness who's on the witness stand related to whether her mother had contact with her or not, or how her mother had contact with her, you are to wholly disregard. So it is as though that question was never asked. It is as though that statement was never said. Does everyone understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not to consider it whatsoever if you are able to reach punishment in this case. Does everyone understand? All right, any questions about the court's instruction? All right, thank you. Defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Madison, you were asked a question about counseling, that you were going to start, I guess, after this is done.
Yes,
And you have not had any counseling in the last 2 or 3 years?
no,
Have they told you that one of the consequences of this conviction is that Wardell will have to register as a sex offender for life?
yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, any other further questions?
Nothing from a state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may step down. All right, state, call your next witness.
State has no further witnesses, the state was.
All right, defense, do you have any witnesses?
Your Honor, the defense will call Nolan Anderson.
And Your Honor, preliminarily, the state would object to any of the defense's witnesses who were present during Madison Keeley's testimony and would ask that they be excluded from testifying in this case.
All right, was this person present?
This person was present, Your Honor. The rule had not officially been invoked by the court regarding this. In addition, Your Honor, anything that they are going to testify to is only related to Mr. Anderson, not for her testimony.
All right, that will be overruled. All right, you have a seat here, sir. Thank you. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand and have a seat.
No problem. Anderson, please.
Just
how do
1
you
second.
know-
I'm sorry,
Oh,
just
no
1 second.
problem.
No problem. All right, can you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, ma'am. Major retired Nolan Anderson III.
Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Anderson, how do you know Wardell Lemon?
I know Wardell Lemon practically my whole life since 1985, right before Transformers, the movie came out.
Okay. How did y'all meet?
I was riding my bike and I saw Wardell and his brother, and I can't remember her name, but they were outside playing. And they also had some Transformers that I didn't have. So I was like, whoa, hey, that's pretty cool. I didn't know anybody because we had just moved from Germany at the time. My father was also retired military in the Air Force. So we had just moved in the neighborhood. So it was a good opportunity for me to meet a friend.
Okay. And so you've been friends ever since then?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all go to school together?
Yes, sir.
So y'all share the same likes, dislikes, things like that?
Absolutely.
What kind of things did you do growing up?
We played basketball, even though I was better than him. Sports, football, we were on the neighborhood swimming team, played video games, of course, still do to this day. And one of the most things, we still collect Transformers.
You've known him as he's become an adult?
Yes, sir.
And you've known him in his relationship with Amanda Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about how he has been as a in his relationship and how he's been with children that you've seen.
Wardell has always been a loving father as myself, because I'm a father myself. And he just re-engaged himself back with his children, his two sons, Caleb and Michael. And so as for me being a father, I mean, he's always treated his children as there was his own. At times, like when I had barbecues at my house, both Wardell and Mandy would come to my house to watch UFC fights, and it also would bring Madison.
Has Wardell always been a provider?
Yes, sir.
Who has he supported during the last 20, 30 years that you've done?
His whole household, sir.
Which includes
Madison, when she would come visit. Would also include Mandy Lewis, his girlfriend, and also his sons. And also they had a plethora of animals. He was like a dog breeder.
It was animal lover?
Oh yeah, he barked all the time.
How has he been with you as far as as a friend in the last 20 years?
He's one of my best friends. I have 3 categories of best friends. My friends I knew in middle school and high school, my friends I knew when I played football in college, and my friends that I've known right now in the military that just recently retired in 2021.
How would this affect Wardell's family if he sends anywhere near 20 years?
It would crush him. 1, he's a father. 2, he's a man. 3, he's a Black man just like me. And I, as a father, have been going through similar things with my best friends, as far as with seeing my son. So I understand the ramifications of what's going on.
You mentioned he's a Black man. How does that tell the jury what significance that has?
Well, look at American history, what's been going on. There's been significant strides in our country, but there are some work that still needs to be done. Things that need to happen. But it's true.
I'll pass the witness, Sean.
State?
You know Wardell pretty well,
Yes, sir.
and he's a pretty good guy.
Absolutely.
And you know what he does for a living?
Yes, his cousin, and they designed T-shirts. He also, as a matter of fact, he also designs websites as well.
Okay.
He's very engaged in his work that he does. I also tried to commission him to design an emblem for one of my units while I was in the Army, which was absolutely amazing, as a matter of fact. But unfortunately. he
By
wasn't
50
selected
minutes,
for-
the defense
selected for-
fights to soften the image of the convicted man. Friends, mentors, family, each paints him as devoted, creative, misunderstood. The state pushes back, grooming, manipulation, and a second chance already wasted years before. Every statement feels like a tug-of-war between redemption and retribution. Question: can someone who's hurt others still be a good man in other parts of life? Or does one act erase it all?
For the product of to be produced for t-shirts. But yeah, it was an amazing product.
Do you know what kind of volume his shirt business does?
Sorry?
You know the how much in sales his shirt business does?
I don't have any type of information on that regarding that.
Did Wardell ever talk to you about the allegations against him?
Yes, you mentioned it, yes.
What did he say?
Object to hearsay, Your Honor.
That'll be overruled.
He mentioned the allegations that happened, and when I heard it, I said, didn't believe it.
So he told you he didn't do it.
Yes, yes, sir.
What did he tell you he was accused of?
Allegedly, some type of sexual misconduct.
Did he tell you exactly who the person was it was against?
Negative on those details, no.
Did he tell you it was against a child?
That eventually came up, yes, sir.
Did he tell you exactly what he was accused of doing to a child?
No, sir.
Did Wardell ever drink?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever smoke marijuana?
Not that I
Objection,
know
Your Honor,
of.
relevance.
That'll be overruled.
Not that I know of.
Did you ever go to Wardell's house?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see Wardell and Amanda's daughter Madison?
Yes.
What did you observe when they were together?
She was happy. We would go to the bowling alley and bowl. Typically, that's the type of activities that we do. We just meet at the bowling alley, we don't bowl.
No further.
Doesn't further.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Thank you, ma'am.
Defense, call your next witness.
Sorry. Kayla Gallegos.
All right, just take a seat here, please. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Caleb Marshall.
All right, defense.
Mr. Marshall, did you one time also go by the name of Gallegos?
Yes, sir, I did.
And when did that name change?
When I was 8,
And why did it change?
because I was adopted.
How do you know Wardell Lemon?
He's my father.
You were adopted from a family outside of your mother and Wardell?
It's the same family, but it was my great aunt who adopted me.
You know the circumstances that led to your adoption?
They couldn't afford to take care of me at the time.
Are you aware of an incident that you were involved in as a young child that led to your dad being placed on probation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Did your dad ever talk to you about that?
No, sir.
Have you had any long-term issues from that particular incident?
No, sir, I haven't.
Were you aware it was an accident that happened?
Yes, sir.
You said you were adopted at 8?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so what was your relationship like with Wardell at that point?
My adopted family made it a little complicated to talk to him at the time. But whenever I got a little bit older, I sort of reached out to him and started talking to him on my own.
What did you learn about your father when you started having this relationship with him?
There were a lot of like when it comes to like creativity and like stuff like that.
What has your relationship been like since you were 8 years old?
I talk to him like routinely, go to him for advice, help with creating something like graphic design, stuff like that.
How has he been with you as you become a young man, an adult?
He's been a key factor in who I am today.
And explain to the jury how so.
It's just if I ever have any questions about anything that anyone that would be my age trying to find their way in life would, he's the first person I turn to, whether it be how do I talk to this girl, or how do I figure this out, or how do I get this promotion at work? Like he's this person that I talk to about everything.
You're aware that your father's been convicted of a crime involving a child.
Yes, sir, I am.
And you're aware that the possible punishment range is 2 to 20 years.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell the jury how it would affect your family if Wardell sent away for a long period of time.
I lose another father, and then I don't have anyone to ask any questions about anything that I need help with trying to navigate through this difficult game that is life.
I'll pass it on, Sean.
State.
Caleb, when you said you were adopted by your great aunt when you were 8 years old,
Yes, sir.
and how long did you live with your great aunt for?
Since I was 3 months.
And who raised you along with your great aunt? Was it just your great aunt?
My great uncle, or my aunt's husband.
Okay. And how often? When did you reconnect with your father? With Wardell?
About middle school.
About what age?
10, 11. Okay.
And how often did you talk to Wardell from the time you were 3 months to when you were 10 to 11?
Can you repeat that, please?
How often did you talk to Wardell before you reconnected?
Like once or twice.
So that entire 11, 12 years, you only talked to him about it.
Yes, sir.
And have you suffered any problems from not talking to Wardell all those years?
I definitely was very curious about like who I was, where I came from. I kind of had no idea until I started like reaching out and got to know him better, you know.
Would you say that your great aunt and your great uncle raised you well?
They did, yes, sir.
And you were the victim in a case that your father was given probation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said that you found out it was an accident.
I found out it was an accident, but my mom slipped up one time and said that she was actually the one that did it.
And have you talked to Wardell about that case?
I have briefly about it.
And are you aware that his probation was revoked in that case? He was sentenced to prison.
I'm not very aware of any of the legality of what happened with it.
And you said that your family made it complicated to talk to Wardell. What do you mean by that?
Since my mom and dad were my mom more so was just very overprotective, and she just felt that she wanted to be really in control. You know what I mean? So she didn't want me to reach out to anyone else from my family besides the family that I was currently in.
So she was acting as a mother.
She was, yes, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Pass the witness.
Briefly, Your Honor.
Yes.
Did you, at some point, did you reach out on your own, or did she allow you to reach out to Wardell?
I reached out on my own.
Did she learn that you had reached out to him?
Yes,
Did she understand how important that relationship was for you?
she did at that point, yes, sir.
You mentioned your mom and this allegation Is it your understanding that your dad took responsibility?
An hour in, the final arguments cut deep. The defense pleads for mercy, 2 years, maybe less. The prosecution demands 20. Both sides invoke family, community, and accountability. Then comes the hardest instruction. Ignore parole, weigh the sentence alone. The jury listens, silent, carrying 10 years of testimony and trauma into one decision. Question: when punishment and compassion collide, which should guide justice?
Responsibility protect her?
It was my understanding that it was pinned on him more than anything,
From your mom's perspective?
my biological mom.
And he took responsibility even then?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing based on that, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. Defense.
Oh, the next witness, Your Honor, will be Shauna Stevens.
All right, you'll take a seat here, please. All right, can you, I believe you've been sworn in before, is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
All right, you're still under oath. If you'll just state your name for the record, and you may have a seat.
Shauna Stevens.
Defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Stevens, you're aware that the jury has found Wardell guilty of this offense.
I am.
And you've been made aware that the punishment range is 2 to 20 years on this case.
I have.
You also been made aware that you'd have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life.
Yes.
Can you tell me, based upon how you know Wardell and Amanda, how this would affect their life, their family's life, be sentenced for a long period of time?
His support of his family, the emotional toll that all of this is going to take, the with loved ones, period, interactions with business after this. It's just going to be devastating.
We talked a little bit about during the innocence phase about what you observed specifically with Wardell and Madison. Tell me what you know about Wardell. What kind of person is he?
Admirable.
And why do you say that?
The support that he's given me, my daughters, my family, his own family, his boys.
Can you give us an example of the support that he's given?
I recently lost my dad. Prior to that, he had had a stroke that had suffered for 7 years. The emotional support, the friendship. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Has he been kind of a pillar of strength for a lot of people?
Absolutely.
And in what way has he been that?
Like the support, caring, genuine, true to who he is, to the community, to everybody that knows him.
To the community, in what way? Tell us about that.
Just sorry. The people, everyone that's been around him. I mean, he's always there to be an ear, a hand, guidance, strength. I mean, anything that you have could ever ask, he's there 110% for you.
Have you seen him in his interactions with his children?
I have.
And what kind of father have you seen him be to his children especially at their adult stage of their life?
Guidance. Pure guidance to raise men. Very proud father. And guiding them to who they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to become, helping them along the way, being upset like any father would be. If they're, any type of issue has come up, but just being there, caring and knowing that anybody's gonna fall and you bring them back up. And I've watched him do it with his boys.
I'll pass the position.
State.
Yes, you know Wardell well,
Very,
and you said he is a very proud father.
yes,
Do very proud fathers not talk to their sons from the age of 3 months old until the age of 11?
I don't know anything prior to the last 10 years.
Okay, but I just would like you to answer that question. Is that the nature of a proud father to not talk to their son from 3 months old to 11 years old?
I don't know prior to 10 years
Object to
before.
non-responsive.
That's overruled.
So are you saying that you have that a father who doesn't talk to their son from 3 months to 11 years old, is that a good father or a bad father?
To me, it would depend on the circumstances.
Okay.
Again, I don't know prior to our friendship.
Okay. And do you respect the jury's verdict in this case?
I do.
Okay, and so you said yesterday that you would trust Wardell with your children, and now that he's been convicted of indecency with the child by contact, do you feel the same? Would you still trust him with your children?
I do.
Okay, and you also respect the jury's verdict in this?
I do.
Okay, and did Wardell ever drink?
He has,
Okay, did Wardell ever use marijuana?
not to my knowledge.
No further questions.
Defense.
Any further?
All right, think you may step down. Defense.
That's a rest, Your Honor.
State.
Stay rest and close.
Defense, you close.
Rest to close, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, are you all okay to stay later? All right. So what I'm gonna have you do is step outside because there are a couple of matters that I need to take up. So I will have you brought back in at 3:15. All right, everyone, please rise to the jurors. Yes, two. Excuse me. The jury, you received all the evidence that you're going to receive for this phase of the trial. I'm going to read to you the charge of the court on punishment. You don't have to memorize it. You will receive a copy of it. Charge of the court on punishment. Members of the jury, by your verdict returned in this case, you have found the defendant, Wardell Lemon, guilty of the offense of indecency with a child by sexual contact. It is necessary that the jury assess the punishment for this offense. You are instructed that the punishment for indecency with a child by sexual contact as charged in the indictment is confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division for any term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years. Therefore, you will assess the punishment of the defendant for a term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years. In addition to imprisonment, an individual found guilty of the offense of indecency with a child by sexual contact may be punished by a fine not to exceed $10,000. And if you choose to assess a fine in addition to imprisonment, you will assess such fine and so state in your verdict. If you assess a fine, it is not paid to the victim or victims, if any, but is paid into the registry of the court. If there is any evidence before you that the defendant may have committed any offense or act of misconduct other than the offense of which you have convicted him, you are instructed that you may use that evidence, if any, in assessing punishment in this case, but only if you find from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed such other offense or act of misconduct, if any. In the event you have a reasonable doubt as to whether any other such offense or act of misconduct was committed, or as to whether the defendant was involved in such other offense or act of misconduct, then you will wholly disregard the evidence, if any, which may relate to any such matter. You are instructed that the defendant may testify in his own behalf if he chooses to do so. But if he elects not to do so, that fact cannot be taken by you as a circumstance against him, nor prejudice him in any way. The defendant has elected not to testify in this punishment phase of trial, and you are instructed that you cannot and must not refer or allude to that fact throughout your deliberations or take it into consideration for any purpose whatsoever. In your deliberations, you may consider evidence introduced during the guilt phase of the trial, as well as any evidence introduced at the punishment phase of the trial. Under the instructions herein given, it will not be proper for you, in determining the penalty to be assessed, to fix the same by lot, chance, any system of averages, or any other method than by full, fair, and free exercise of the opinion of the individual jurors under the evidence submitted before you. The length of time for which the defendant is in prison may be reduced by the award of parole. Under the law applicable in this case, the defendant will not become eligible for parole until the actual time served equals 1/2 of the sentence imposed. If the defendant is sentenced to a term of less than 4 years, the defendant must serve at least 2 years before the defendant is eligible for parole. Eligibility for parole does not guarantee that parole will be granted. It cannot be accurately predicted how the parole law might be applied to this defendant, because the application of that law will depend on decisions made by parole authorities. You may consider the existence of the parole law. You are not to consider the manner in which the parole law may be applied to this particular defendant. A suitable form is attached hereto for your verdict if you should care to use the same. However, such form is not intended to influence you in any way in arriving at your verdict. In any event, the verdict must be unanimous in writing and signed by your presiding juror. Respectfully submitted, Judge Stephanie Boyd, 187 District Court, and forms are attached. State, are you prepared to proceed? All right, defense.
May it please the court. Counsel. Ladies and gentlemen, as I told you during opening of the punishment phase, we do respect your verdict. We understand you come to this verdict based upon the consideration of the evidence. What we're asking you to do now is consider Wardell and the person he has been to his family, to his friends. We're asking you to consider taking away a man who has provided so much and has been not a perfect man, but has been responsible, taking care of those around him, help those to become upstanding men, help those friends that he had continue with their lives and deal with issues around them, help those who have their own children deal with whatever issues that come before them. You're going to read through this and you've probably heard, and you're like, well, there's a issue of parole. It tells you what the parole law is, but that's not really for you to consider. There is a parole law. Whether or not he gets out at a certain time is not for you to determine. It'll be for another entity to make a decision. What we also want you to consider is that you heard from the testimony, he's going to be labeled and have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. So at some point when he does get out, he's going to have to register. So that means he is going to have to be confined, even though he is not in prison anymore. That is a lifetime registration. That is something that he's going to have to deal with and live with based upon your verdict, and he understands that. So whatever you decide as far as the punishment, he's still being punished long after that occurs. We understand that this is a serious offense, and we understand the circumstances surrounding it. But a couple things I also want you to think about is the fact that this family is still trying to drive more nails into that coffin, going through and trying to provide more evidence as to rebuttal as to what was testified during guilt and innocence. Try to make it clear that my mom never reached out to me. She's unblocked. all these little things, try to manipulate your feelings as to how you should view Wardell Lemon and Amanda Lewis. All those things that show you who they are. So we understand you've come to the verdict that you have come to. We're respectfully asking you to come to a decision to sentence Wardell to 2 years in the institutional division of criminal justice. And if not 2 years, then the lower end of the punishment range. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, state.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard, the defendant is facing 2 to 20 years in the prison because of this charge. And if you've paid attention, you've seen him shed tears while at that table today. State will submit to you that he's not crying there because of what he did, because of what he caused to Madison. He's crying there because he's now facing the consequences of his actions, almost 10 years later. Now, Madison got up on the stand and told you she thought of him as a father up until this incident happened. And the defendant took advantage of Madison at that young age and broke the trust that she had in the man that she saw as a father. He groomed her. You heard testimony yesterday about that. He took advantage of her little by little, making her comfortable with what he was doing to her because she didn't know at that time that it was wrong. He knew it was wrong. And he took it step by step by step to try and protect himself in making sure he never got caught and end up in this situation today. The defendant wants, or the defense wants you to take him into account in this punishment phase. But what about the victim? The defendant caused all of this damage. Sure, he's going to be a sex offender, and rightfully so. He's charged with indecent contact to a child. So yes, he will be a sex offender because of his own actions, not by anything that Madison caused. She is the victim. She's the complainant in this case. She has nothing to do with what is now going to happen to the defendant. You've heard a little bit of information about how he's now a 2-time felon. He was given a chance previously in a case where he injured his own child. And that was revoked because he couldn't abide by the rules set by the court, and he was sentenced to 6 months. So he's already shown that any punishment is not enough for him, because if he's given a chance, he will take advantage of it just the way that he took advantage of Madison. You also heard from Shauna again, who yesterday, if you'll remember, testified that sure, she would trust Wardell with her kids. And even now, as he sits here, a convicted felon of a sexual charge against a child, she's telling you to your face that she would still trust him. I don't know what that says about the defendant. I don't know what that says about her, but you can take that into account. You heard from his son, and they made it seem as though the defendant is this big, important figure in his life and shaping him into who he is today. Caleb was raised by his great aunt and his great uncle. He testified to you that he doesn't suffer any problems from not having seen Wardell for the first 10+ years of his life. So it's the defense who's trying to manipulate your emotions into taking that background information into the back with you. It's up to y'all in the jury to send a message that this type of crime is not taken lightly in our community. So when you go into the back, again, think about Madison. Think about how this is going to affect her. Something that was not caused by her, but by the defendant's actions, and how that's going to affect her for the rest of her life. Think about how every time she thinks about this action, she's going to think about the relationship with the mom that she never wanted to lose, but was forced to let go of because of the defendant's actions, because she chose this defendant over her own daughter. Now, the complainant, Madison, has had this hanging over her head for the last 10 years and found the braveness inside her to finally come out one day and tell her story about what happened. And like you said, like counsel said to you previously, you can consider the existence of parole, but you can't consider to how it directly will affect the defendant's sentence. But we think that because she has been suffering with this for 10 years, close to 10 years. We feel that the maximum sentence of 20 years in this case is more than fair. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you will be sent to the back. Again, Estrada and Perez, if you'll remain behind. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.
Verdict delivered. 10 years in prison, $5,500 fine, lifetime registration. The courtroom exhales, one chapter closes, but none walk away whole. Madison gets validation, not peace. Wardell faces justice, not forgiveness. The judge offers calm closure, but the weight lingers. Question: was 10 years enough for what you witnessed? Or did this sentence miss the mark? Tell us your thoughts below and stay tuned for more real courtroom breakdowns.